Guilty as Sock is one of the most fun and interesting social video game experiences I've had the pleasure to play in a long, long time. Playing as a judge or defending an accused Socky boy or whatever they are, just call them Socky boys, or being the prosecutor ends up with the most hilarious arguments and the most ridiculous outcomes. Basically how it works is if you're a defendant or a prosecutor, you're given these cards that are kind of used as like evidence for formulating a story along the theme of what the client has been accused of. And as the judge, your goal is to see the logic behind the evidence and the accusations and keep order in the court and ultimately decide the fate of the Socky boy. The game comes out on the 29th of May and the demo is up right now to try out on Steam. What you're going to be seeing is strictly the demo. I didn't get like an early version of the game, but I will be buying the game tomorrow when it comes out because I had a ridiculous amount of fun playing this, and I wish the absolute best for the developers, and I hope they have a big success with this because I think it's really, really, really fun.
Yes, I am a very old British lady. I do apologize.
Crowning the queen.
That's literally my favorite, so.
Let's go, Your Honor.
Hey. Judge speaking. Hush, hush.
Stinky Lil T.
Oh my goodness me. So we have Stinky Lil T, who is accused of drowning the Queen of England. I am personally horrified by this story. You should all be ashamed of yourself.
She died.
Yes, you
To
should.
begin with.
You all should be ashamed. I would like to say that the Stinky Little T on the defendant's side here clearly was upset by salary cuts. The Queen did hike up the taxes before her death, but it was, to defend and help the country of the United Kingdom and all of Great Britain. It was part of
Minus
something
points
that
for the
she
accent.
needed
That
to
is
do.
a criminal offence.
A
in
bottle of
itself.
water
Silence peasant.
A
Silence
bottle.
peasant.
Oh, sorry, a bottle
If
of
you're
water.
going to address me in that accent, I will beat you over the head.
A bottle of water.
Whoa. Your Honor's getting violent.
A bottle of water, Your Honor, was costing this defendant far too much money to the point where he himself could not even afford to drink. So what does he do? He goes out. He gives her enough water for 1,000 days. He drowns her, Your Honor. He drowns the Queen with a big old bottle of water known as a lake, Your Honor. I rest my case. I don't have the bell. They have the bell.
Did he just do two voices? I don't know.
So you say my client did drown the queen, quote unquote, but I do ask you this. Why did his coworker
Allegedly.
say that he was at work that day?
Oh,
The day you said he drowned the queen allegedly.
What is
That's
your client's
fucking
job?
factual. I'll see.
We're waiting.
you're waiting.
Pool cleaner. I guess.
He's
yeah.
experienced, Your Honor.
He's
No.
a pool
Judy, shut
cleaner. Interesting.
Yes.
It is
he
interesting
was.
considering the UK is a pretty cold place, just so that you're aware. How many months of the year do you think a pool is going to be open in London?
Judge, there are indoor
Barely
pools
ever.
all over the country of
not
the
many are
United
around.
Kingdom.
Yeah, I guess like a month or two. I guess.
Touche,
Not many, Your
I
Honor,
shall
Your Honor.
retract that statement. Do carry on.
Interesting. Now, the thing about an indoor pool, which I think we all should actually raise money and get the judge here to an indoor pool, because I don't think she's been to one. That makes me kind of sad. But the thing about it is that the thing that revolves around an indoor pool, aside from an outdoor pool, is what? What's the difference between an indoor pool and an outdoor pool, ladies and gentlemen? Cover. One word.
Windows.
Cover. You have walls,
Oh.
you have a ceiling, you have nothing but camouflage to drown an elderly woman. We all know the Queen was fit. She was old. She lasted a century and a half, perhaps. I'm not a mathematician, but what I do know is that woman was drowned by the client over there with used tissue. But not chloroform in a used tissue. Chloroformed her, dragged her to the pool, and drowned her. Your Honor, I rest my case.
Your Honor, I call them for baseless claims. There is no chloroform presented in the evidence, so probably that used tissue was probably someone's poo or something like that. Yeah. So after that, let's go back to my story, the real story. So my client came home after a tiring day of pool cleaning. Probably decided to eat something suspicious. Probably got high, chilled, was too relaxed, no murderous content there. And probably wrote in his little notebook on how he loves the Queen of England. Of course, without her, he wouldn't have a job now, how would he? And like as we said, used tissue for me at least is a baseless claim. There was no proof of use of chloroform, and my client was in his job based on his co-worker's statement. And yes, I rest my case, Your Honor.
Do either of you know the actual title of the Queen officially?
Queen Elizabeth II? I don't know.
Nope.
Thank you.
I'm
You carry
Irish.
on.
I don't need to know that. Leave me alone. Let us go back to what you said, defendant. Without her, there wouldn't be a job for your defendant, Stinky Lil T. But with her, there isn't enough money in Stinky Lil T's pocket for his marijuana and his bottle of water. So how's he meant to survive? How's he meant to go on with this patriarchal establishment bullshit? Also, you claim that there is no chloroform in the tissue. If that is true, smell the rag. Go on. Smell it. I rest my case, maybe. I don't know. Let me look at my cards.
He just
Still
did the OJ
edible.
offense on a Greg.
Suspicious bill.
I will not condone drug use in my courtroom. Do carry on.
I would like to show that I accidentally put up melted chocolate, as there is one in my back pocket. Not so much against the defense there, just a mistake on my part. But the suspicious bill, that is where I truly have my case and my hook, line, and sinker motivation thing. Obviously, it says here suspicious bill. Some would say that is some type of amendment, some type of bill that would indicate some type of new law, perhaps. No, it's not. It's a man who's suspicious. Stinky Lil T's middle name is Bill. That's right. And he's suspicious. And he fucking drowned her. And I rest my case.
That was wild.
I sincerely apologize about that. I did accidentally hit you over the face.
It's okay, Your Honor.
I have so much
Okay,
melted
so-
chocolate in my pocket right now.
With your offer to smell evidence that's a breach of court, no. So my last
Smell it. Smell it. Go on.
It smells of poo, Your Honor.
Control in this
That's chocolate.
courtroom.
That's chocolate. That's not poop. That's not poop. I swear to God, it's not poop. It's chocolate. It's chocolate.
I believe that your dastardly client did try to take the life of Her Majesty the
I
Queen.
fucking
I
knew
do
it.
believe that his violence that evening was directed to kill said Majesty, and I do believe that all evidence points to
Guilty!
Guilty!
Hello, I'll make this intermission very quick. If you're enjoying the video and it's giving you a bit of a giggle and you're being entertained by it, I'd really, really appreciate a like. Huge appreciation for a subscribey. And if you want to be an absolute hero, send it to your silly goose friends in like a Discord or something and be like, this guy is super weird and loud, but kind of funny. And then, you know, I might get more subscribies and likies, and then I will love you forever. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the video. Hopefully it makes you laugh more. Enjoy. Take care. Bye-bye. Billy Bob farting on the neighbor's dog. God, I hope you didn't do that.
Jesus Christ.
The defendant is, as you know, accused of farting on the neighbor's dog. The evidence I have to prove that is a co-worker of the defendant was at the defendant's house at that time, and he saw him through the window go outside and fart on the neighbor's dog. It was horrendous to watch.
Suspicious noise under the bed. Your Honor, Billy Bob, once again, may I say, you're looking wonderful today, by the way, Your Honor. But let's just focus on Billy Bob here for a second. Billy Bob is, of course, a young...
Flatty will get you nowhere.
Yes, it fucking will. Young... Billy Bob is a young gentleman. He's in his early 20s. He also has a myriad of learning disabilities. Gets scared of things like cheese. And he also gets scared of big, scary, doggy woggies. What was the suspicious noise under the bed? Was it a big, scary, wary doggy woggy that the neighbors had not on a leash, Your Honor? Not on a leash, not trained, not brought into any sort of care or attention with a fence, nothing. My client, poor little Billy Bob, look at him all brittle and frail, scared of cheese. Look at the ground, Your Honor. It practically looks like a bunch of cheese. There's cheese everywhere for this poor boy. And he's scared, Your Honor. He's scared. What do people do sometimes, Your Honor, when they are scared? Sometimes they toot. Is it intentional? No, it's basically the manslaughter of tooting. I rest my case.
Now, Your Honor, all of that is said and good. However, I would like to present a used tissue found at the crime scene in which the farting took place in. Now, I don't think I should have to describe what was on said used tissue, but I believe you can kind of figure out. It was horrifying, Your Honor. On top of said used tissue,
Dookie.
on top, yes, Your Honor, and on top of that used tissue, there was also a stained apron with said similar substance on it as the tissue.
Dookie.
Yes, Your Honor. It was gross. Your Honor, how can the neighbor and his dog feel safe knowing that somebody lives next door to them? How can they feel safe knowing someone that has a used tissue and a stained apron with similar substances on them feel safe? The answer, Your Honor, is they can't.
Okay. Back to the defendant.
Blood, Your Honor. Blood. That's what I would like to say. Blood is something we see every day in movies, in film, TV, video games. It's bright red, but in reality, blood is quite dark. Some would actually mistake dark blood and old blood for dookie on a tissue, which is not what was on that tissue. It was not the poop of this mentally challenged, mildly stinky boy. No, Your Honor, it was blood on that tissue. And the stains on the apron, the stains also blood, Your Honor, from a mother cradling her child after being bitten by a dog and after tooting wildly into the winds of time and space. Your Honor, I would like to say that my client was guilty, and had also tripped on his brand new shoelaces running from the dog and had clearly airborne 180'd his buttocks into the skies as his knees and cut elbows were on the ground, just groveling. He's going, no cheesy doggy, no cheesy doggy. And he gets scared. He lets a little toot out. We all do it from time to time. But it's the fact that, did he do it on purpose, Your Honor? Did he do it with malevolence in his little stinky, stupid heart? I think not, Your Honor. I think not.
Yes,
I think
he
it's
did.
all self-defense. I think it's bullshit.
Alright, you got anything to add, prosecutor?
I do. Now, all of that may be said and done, Your Honor, but I would like to present melted chocolate. Now, chocolate has a tendency to cause some people to gain, how would you say, flatulence? Now, it has been proven that the defendant had chocolate that day, and it has also been proven that the defendant has a sensitive stomach to chocolate, Your Honor, and that because of this, he was feeling extra gaseous that day. And because of that, it can be believed without any sense of doubt that the defendant farted on the neighbor's dog because he had chocolate. And the defendant knew that chocolate makes him gaseous, but Your Honor, he still ate the chocolate. And because of that, it made him gaseous. And because of that, not wanting to embarrass himself in front of his coworker, as I would like to remind you, the coworker was there at the time of the crime. And because he ate chocolate with this coworker, he then proceeded to go outside, walk next door, find the neighbor's dog, and fart on the neighbor's dog.
Damn, you got anything else to add, defendant?
You know I always do. Cheese, Your Honor. Dairy, some would call it. I think it's safe to say my client, as I referred to earlier today, has a fear of cheese. Stinky no cheese, as he calls it. The fear, Your Honor, that he got from the cheese originally was because my client is not lactose intolerant. He can eat all the dairy he damn well wants without any sort of flatulence or stinky butt poo-poos. Your Honor, he got scared of the cheese because he ate too much cheese in the year of our Lord 2001. It was the day before 9/11, as we all remember. What a terrible day it was. But an even worse day for him, as he had eaten... do not interrupt me! A worse day for him because of all that cheese that he had procured from the neighbor's pantry. Not the neighbor's pantry, sorry, I misspoke there. From his own pantry. The other thing was, this melted chocolate. Quite suspicious. We all know my client loves to eat chocolate, as you have said yourself. What kind of chocolate was it, though, Your Honor? Dog chocolate. That's right, dog chocolate. This little guy will eat anything, and he loves any kind of chocolate. Human, dog, cat. Don't hit my client. He's got mental problems. So whenever little Stinky Billy Bob here was covered in chocolate, of course he's getting chased by a dog. It's dog chocolate. He's attracted to it. And again, I would like to say it was accidental. And if anything, worst case scenario, in defense that he farted on that dog. Even if that were to have happened. I mean, farting on a dog is very specific. You have to crouch down, you have to aim the buttocks at the dog, and you have to toot. You have to toot, Your Honor. I rest my case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, I am down to my last piece of evidence, but I feel like this evidence may be the most damning against the defendant. See, Your Honor, the defendant had an overfilled mailbox. What was in said mailbox, you might ask, Your Honor? Well, they were reminders to refill his prescription to help him with his fart. It caused
Imodium. It's called Imodium.
Yes, Your Honor. What he said. He forgot. He had constant reminders to refill said medication, Your Honor, but he didn't. He chose to be farty, and on top of that, he chose to fart on the neighbor's dog because he had the ability to fix and keep the problem in control, Your Honor, but he didn't. He chose to keep the problem relevant, and because of that, there is without a shadow of doubt that this defendant, if I could figure out how to point, hold on, how do I point? How do I point? There it is. It is without a doubt that defendant farted on the neighbor's dog. He chose to fart on the neighbor's dog, and there is much evidence against him that says that he in fact farted on the neighbor's dog. And as with that, Your Honor, and with my last piece of evidence, that I in fact rest my case.
You may not stab at it. Thank you. An opened package, Your Honor. That's right. The Imodium did come. Oh, it came all right. And it helped my client's tummy wummy. One of the side effects, though, that you're forgetting of Imodium isn't just to stop poopies. It's actually to make the tum-tum take all the wind out. That's right, Your Honor. Imodium will make you toot like there's no tomorrow. It's one of the well-known side effects of Imodium. As someone myself who is crippled by irritable bowel syndrome and big toots himself and poopies, it's a well-known fact. It'll make you toot like there's no tomorrow. And the thing about that, Your Honor, is it's unstoppable. You have to let those toots out, those big, long, powerful toots, or your tum-tum will get sore. No one's letting their tum-tum get sore, especially when you're getting chased by the neighbor's demonic, evil, psychotic dog. I think the only order that was never delivered here was to the dog. Sit. Behave. Good boy. Those were never things told to the dog because that dog was a menace to society, that entire neighborhood, and especially my stinky, chalky doggy covered child boy, stinky Billy Bob boy, child person here with demented disabilities, the knees and cuts to prove that he was chased by the dog, fell over, probably because of the Imodium having a side effect, and I swear to God, all that covered in dog chocolate too, and he's scared of cheese. I rest my case. Thank you very much. Jurors, have your say, and Your Honor, once again, you're looking phenomenal. Thank you. Good night. Do I get a little closing argument? I just want to say in short, once again, Judge, you're looking fabulous. Secondly, it was in self-defense if he did toot on the dog. And thirdly, let's go McDonald's. Let's get this guy McDonald's. Come on, he loves McDonald's. Let's get a McDonald's after this, all right?
All right, the court has decided. The defendant is not guilty.
Woo!
Yay!
God damn, I love being a lawyer.
Okay, Your Honor.
Uh-huh.
So the first piece of evidence we have is a security camera
Ooh, that's
that
a good one.
points to the defendant going into his coworker's office.
Is that it? Is that it?
That's it for right now.
Okie dokie. All right, let's go over to the old defense here.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, the prosecution claims that my client was seen on a security camera. However, that would be preposterous, Your Honor. And the reason for that is because at the time that they claim the security camera picked up my client was at the doctor. I have a doctor as a witness. My client was at the doctor getting something checked that is not relevant to the case. But he was not present at the time claimed that he was to steal the backpack.
What was he at the doctor for? Can we ask about his private medicals?
It was a routine checkup, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Yes, Your Honor. That's all I have. At this
Okie
time.
dokie. Prosecutor.
I'll send it
Bing
over to you.
bong.
One memento.
Okie dokie. I'll check my my papers here. I like poop.
The defendant actually never got to go to his doctor's appointment because that elevator was stuck.
Interesting. So you're claiming that a doctor lied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay.
Doctors kind of do lie sometimes.
Doctors do lie. The juror is correct. Sometimes people do lie. I don't know if people are aware of that. Everyone in the court should be aware of that, though. Sometimes people do be lying. I don't know why that is. That's a sick thing to do, but sometimes people do. Is that all you got there, prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Bing bong! Back to the old defendant here.
Facts.
Now, Your Honor, the prosecution is correct that my client did in fact get stuck in the elevator. However, Your Honor, he was saved by the fire department. They opened the elevator, he got out, and he got to continue on to his appointment. The proof that he was able to go to that appointment is this medical file, Your Honor, which shows that he was in fact at his appointment and got there a little bit late because of the elevator, but he did in fact go to his appointment as was scheduled.
Nice. Now, if your client could potentially just, whisper to you and tell the entire courtroom exactly on a scale of 1 to 10, how hot were those firemen exactly?
Yes, Your Honor, I can ask him right now. Well, you heard the judge. Oh, really?
Yeah, this is totally giving me a clue right now.
Your Honor, my client has told me that on a scale of 1 to 10, those firemen were in fact a 10, Your Honor.
Not guilty. I think we've finished up here to death. All right. Well, let's see. All right, I'm gonna talk about the evidence here we got on the board, because simply or not, he's got a doctor. He's got a love letter.
Or not.
We've got an elevator with sexy firemen pulling him out of there. I'm thinking
This all could be
he's.
lies, though, Judge. And you're looking real great today.
Damn, she got me
You're
on that
looking
one.
fantabulous today, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say you look so fucking good right now, Judge.
You look so great.
Like, I don't think I can control myself. That's how good you look.
Oh, God, we're
Your
all
Honor,
gonna have
I
to go to
have
that
my own
fireman
way.
strip
Your
club
Honor, I
later.
have
Let's
my
slide
own
down
way.
some
I have
poles,
my
you know what I
own
Are
mean,
you
boy?
saying you're not one of the sexy firemen?
Oh, hell yeah.
Your Honor, I have.
I think because of the doctor and the elevator and the sexy fireman, there's too many eyewitnesses here. I'm gonna have to say not guilty.
Damn.
Yeah! I'm on my case.
Juror is accused of stealing his dad's controller. Can I start, Judge? Can I start, please? Sweet. Your Honor, my beautiful client here, Junior, is accused of stealing his dad's controller. His mother. Your Honor, please. I think this is ridiculous. How could this young boy steal his own mother? Out of an abusive relationship where his mother's clearly controlling his father in this abusive relationship. I think this is silly. I think this is kangaroo court. And I think the evidence speaks for itself. We got a one-way subway ticket out of here. And it's a trip going to nowhere, Your Honor. It's a silly thing. It's a silly Billy thing. I rest my case.
Well. Junior over here decided to steal his dad's controller.
Which is his mother.
Just evidence for him. Wait, what?
Didn't you listen to my debate?
Stealing people?
Yeah,
I did,
the
but-
controller.
No,
His controller is clearly his mother.
It's a game controller. It's a game controller.
No, it's not. I started off strong
evidence.
here, that being the
I
mother.
have
It's a
evidence.
controlling,
Okay.
abusive relationship, and it's the mother.
No. So, as he was stealing the controller, he didn't want to leave any footprints. He didn't want to leave any germs. So, what did he do? He used hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer doesn't erase fingerprints.
Very, very sus, if you ask me. And then, we had a witness. The dog. The dog was in the house trying to figure out what was going on, but he saw him take the controller. Now, I'll leave it to the prosecutor. What do they have to say about this, or defense?
Your Honor, is he high? Is he high on drugs, Your Honor?
Yes.
This is
Yes, he is.
absolutely ridiculous.
Objection,
I cannot
leading,
believe the
leading.
shit I am
He is
hearing in
high.
my little
Objection,
bouncy bubbly boy
relevance,
sock
relevance.
ears. Hold on.
Can confirm.
Your Honor, I call for order, please.
I call for a blurry photo as evidence. Is Sasquatch, is Bigfoot
Ooh.
out there stampeding around the great beyond? Are they blurry? Is the cameraman just bad at their job? Or are they naturally blurry? Just like Junior's mother. A blurry woman stampeding towards the father to abuse him. If we can't even agree on what the evidence really is here, Your Honor, which is, of course, a 100-pound child stealing a 300-pound woman, where is he putting her? In a van? running away with her into the night? This is ridiculous. He's talking about video game consoles. Thinks he's living in a video game right now. It's beyond compare. It's beyond compare. I also have a doctor's note. It says there are bruises all over the father's face, body, and I think that doubles down on the controller being abusive, which is the mother. I rest my case.
To steer away from the mother being the controller, to further prove that it was just a regular old controller that he stole, because he didn't want anybody to find it. So we were trying to find out where it went, but he had it all this time. He had it hidden in a hole in the garden, inside of a suitcase. I want everybody to see this evidence. It was a suitcase buried in the ground. I shall hold my final piece of evidence that will, in fact, prove that he is guilty after the defense.
Okay, thank you. Defense. What do you have to say to that?
I have to say that a 300-pound woman could not fit in the biggest of suitcases. I think that a 100-pound boy over here could not dig a 6-foot grave hole in the outskirts of a cold winter in Missouri. I don't think a goddamn thing he said has made a goddamn lick of sense. And this evidence here of a full ashtray and the cigarette burns on the father's skin clearly indicates another stepping stone towards abuse from the mother who was a heavy smoker. I rest my fucking case.
Okay.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection.
Prosecutor.
Object.
Do you have anything to add?
But if you look, it's a universal remote, which he did, in fact, hide in the suitcase in the hole in the ground that the dog saw because he was looking what was going on. Judge being so shocked. And then after digging this hole, after putting the remote in the suitcase in the hole in the ground,
Chocolat bleu.
he needed to clean his hands. So what did he do? He used the hand sanitizer. And if we swab his hands, there's 0.001 germ left after using 99% hand sanitizer. I rest my case.
Give him a chance, Your Honor.
Ow.
Oh,
that was the wrong one. Okay, the suitcase. The universal remote. The universe. And a suitcase. Wow, what an interesting concept. What is this, Your Honor? What is this? Schrodinger's mother?
objection.
This is ridiculous. I'm talking.
Objection.
This is ridiculous. I think there's no access badge that can be implemented in showing what's in that case. It's buried. It's in the ground if it is there, which it isn't, Your Honor, because there is no dead mother. There is no stolen piece of technology or Mummy Dearest is when she left the family.
Objection, hearsay.
I think the evidence speaks for itself. I have blurry photos. I have full ashtrays. I have injuries on my client's father. I have it all, Your Honor. And what does this sock puppet over here have? Paper in his mouth. That's right. I rest my case.
This is fake news.
Okay. Does the jury have anything to add?
No, Your Honor. The only thing I would like to add is that the prosecution got absolutely cooked.
Objection leading.
I'm not on trial. I'm
Objection.
the jury, you idiot.
Relevance.
I'm in the jury, you idiot.
Objection. Biased. We need a new jury. He's biased. He's instigating.
The case is over. You can't object anymore.
Yes!
Yeah.
Innocent baby! Merv. Accused of murdering.
Wow. In Detroit?
My papers say yes, specifically geographically in Detroit, Your Honor. A CEO Santa Claus, a wonderful man. Kris Kringle, some would say. Saint Nick, others. He ran a successful toy company in the North Pole, and once a year would make deliveries, much like a what do you guys got in America? I don't know what you guys Deliveroo or some shit. What do you guys got?
Amazon, UPS. I get
yeah, UPS guy. He's like a UPS guy, but he does it once a year for everyone in the entire world. Except he didn't that one night during Christmas, because he made one stop off in Detroit that ended his life. Isn't that right, Merv? Who, as a little boy, never got his toys from Santa Claus and always felt threatened and angry about that, and waited for Santa under the tree, hoping, methodically thinking throughout every year after 6th grade, why didn't I get a Dreamcast? Where was my copy of Shenmue? Why the fuck doesn't he love me? So he thought, I'm going to plot and I'm going to kill him. I'm going to get him one day. I rest my case.
Thank you, prosecution. Defense, we will go to you now.
Merv, I'm sorry, fam. Your Honor, I would like to point out some evidence that it was impossible that he murdered Santa Claus in Detroit, because at the time that Santa Claus was murdered, he had a rental car in a different state. He wasn't even in the same state, Your Honor. I rest my case.
He had a rental car, you say. That's very interesting. He also had a lot of very disturbing internet comments, though, that were all solely aimed at good old Saint Nick, saying, I'm going to... Let me just check this in. Not paraphrase, but quote verbatim of what Merv said. Merv's online username is MervSuckThis69. Says in this paper, he says, I'm gonna get you, fool. I'm gonna rough you up like a mad, angry cowboy. You ever see Brokeback Mountain, player? I'm gonna make sure you... please, I'm trying to remain composed there. You ever see Brokeback Mountain, player? I'm gonna put it in, and I ain't gonna use spit like no Jake Gyllenhaal bitch. You gonna die on the big night. Signed, Merv Big Sucker 69. Also, he had a loyalty card for the rental car, and let's all not forget what state was beside the thing. His rental car was one state away from Michigan, which is where Detroit is. He could have drove there, Your Honor, overnight. If Santa Claus can drive around the world in one night with a sled and some reindeers, I'm pretty sure Merv can go in a Honda 2750 Civic thing. I don't know, car's good. I rest my case.
Your Honor, we did come across that post that the prosecutor is talking about, but we actually had an eyewitness intern that admitted to the fact that he got on Merv's account and wrote that for Santa Claus. I rest my case.
All I'm really seeing here is another piece of my evidence. A disturbing email from that intern. All I'm getting right now is that we have another court date behind us because we didn't capture the accomplice, the intern. But the mastermind behind killing old Saint Nick was clearly Merv. I think both of them, and also a third party known as Chapchapata, probably wrote those threats.
And prosecution, if I may ask, what did you say that username of the defendant was?
I believe it was Merv Suckit69.
Thank you very much. Let me just add that to my notes real quick. Well, and as with that, is with the power invested in me that I find the client guilty.
Woo! I can't lose!